we are discussing in the context of well, it's not a split, but there clearly is some problem in the Trinamool with the 59 MLOs seeming out of Mamata Banerjee's control, and there are murmurs that her nephew is also going to be in their target next. They are not overtly getting cozy with the BJP, but clearly the BJP is behind this. Whenever any government or party loses a state, we have noticed in the last several years, the party kind of splits and it goes towards the BJP. In the midst of all this, Rahul Gandhi is constantly the punching bag for everybody that, weak opposition, weak opposition. So we just want to discuss how much of this political dominance of the BJP is because of quote unquote weak opposition, or is Rahul Gandhi unfairly bashed?
Those are very fundamental questions that you're posing that I think every Indian will need to ask, particularly after the recent assembly elections. It is very unusual, what happened in West Bengal for the party that's defeated to just unravel the way it is unraveling. Normally, you sit in the opposition, you wait for your turn, you hit back at the ruling party, and then next time round, you may get your chance. And if may not be next time round, Bengal goes on and on. Left was in power for 34 years, Mamata for 15 years, before that Congress for decades. So, but this unraveling of a defeated party is a new phenomenon that we are seeing. Now, is it because the opposition has got it wrong, or is it because the people want it that way? Is it because of the misuse of institutions by the ruling group? I think it is mainly we have to accept that there is a sentiment. The rest follows. A humongous machinery of the BJP is an added plus. The misuse of ED, income tax, is an added plus to harass the opposition side. But you cannot manufacture a certain sentiment. Now you can build on it. I can say that, if you have the resources, you'll get your optics right, you'll take the message to a large number of people. But there is a sentiment, and somewhere the opposition has got it wrong there. And I think what you talked about, Rahul Gandhi, I would say Rahul Gandhi probably is the most courageous man in India today in terms of how he takes on the Prime Minister. Nobody else takes him on like that. Now, as somebody said to me in Ujjain, problem is bhasha ka lafda. In the way he expresses it, it doesn't quite click with people. So is there a fault with his vision? Is there a fault with his language? Is there a fault with not fully understanding the pulse of the people? Or not? Why is it that Rahul Gandhi is not clicking as an alternative to Narendra Modi? Everybody says he's very decent, sincere, well-meaning, taking innovative steps like Bharat Jodo Yatra and subsequently. But why is he not clicking? Is it because the sentiment is so overwhelmingly in favor of the BJP? Has Hindu India Hinduized to such an extent that the opposition is not prepared to give credence to that development? Why has that happened? Are we fully not looking at that development, or realistically looking at it? Why has it happened? Because we ourselves are opposed to it and don't want to accept it? I think there are many questions, but you cannot, and I hope we will not have an India which is a one-party India. I hope we will not have an India which is defective opposition. Therefore, it has become so vital. And I've heard people in the BJP, those inclined to the BJP, express worry that the opposition is collapsing the way it is.
So, good points. Although on the sentiment bit, there is as much a sentiment in favor of Modi as there is against Modi. There is as much a sentiment in favor of one as, because if you go by the data and the voting percentages, there is no evidence to suggest that there is a sentiment among the population that disproportionately favors the BJP. If you just go by the number of people who vote for the BJP. So, in that sense, I guess the sentiment is, there are various sentiments that exist in the country simultaneously, I guess. There are sentiment, there are a significant number of people voted for Trinamool.
Yeah.
So that sentiment does exist. But to what extent can that, go to the next level? So,
in the question of sentiment, like Neerja was talking about, and I've been thinking about this quite a bit because of this whole Cockroach Janata Party thing. And if you look at 2014, to me, the key sentiment that worked for Modi was that he's his own man. I think people felt for too long that power does not really reside with Manmohan Singh, and history will be kind to him, is kind to him. Like Neerja's book explains how he really achieved certain things for the country, like the nuclear deal, against all opposition within his party. But the chief sentiment back then was that this person is not his own man and power resides with Sonia, with someone else. At least when Modi comes to power, we'll know who is in charge. And I think that really, really worked for Modi, if there's one central thing that worked for him. Today, I think the big sentiment that exists, at least when you listen to people, is that you want someone to listen to you. I think a lot of people are very frustrated with this government because this government does not listen. Kahin koi sunwai nahi ho rahi hai is a very common thing you'll hear everyone say. So there is a sentiment for a leader who at least listens to us, doesn't just ram through, this whole centralization everywhere. Even Man Ki Baat, the kind of now anger or the mockery that Man Ki Baat gets is quite unprecedented because people are a bit tired of this leader who's just one-way communication, telling us what he wants, what he thinks, and he's not listening to us. And I think there is an opportunity for a Rahul to position himself, which I think he's trying to do with Bharat Jodo Yatra, where he went walking, trying to position himself as, I'm listening to you. At least I'm here listening to your concerns. This government doesn't care. It doesn't listen. It will ram through whatever they want. On the question of Ramgu and all the, controversy that came out of it, I think the question of capability, Congress has to decide. And Congress seems to have decided it's Rahul for them. It's only the people around, journalists, columnists, who keep saying, Rahul, is he capable or not? But no one from the Congress is saying, there's no revolt within the Congress. Whoever had to leave has left. Whatever old guard, new guard, just still had to happen, happened. Now they're very clear that Rahul is the face. So if the opposition to BJP, and I think there's merit to that, like you were saying, I don't think regional forces can withstand BJP's pressure. They have not been able to in the last 12 years. And I think regional politics will finish, like Sharad Pawar was saying to Neerja. They won't be able to withstand. Only Congress has been able to unseat a BJP government, and that happened in Karnataka. So if Congress is the main party of opposition, they have decided it's Rahul. So I'm a little bored of this question of his capability because the party wants him. So that's it.
बस मुफ्त में इतना ही मिलेगा. For the full uncut podcast, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free. The best way to listen to The Hafta and indeed all our podcasts is through the News Laundry app. You can download the app by clicking on the links given in the show notes. So do download our app and get the best podcast experience. And also pay for news and support a new news media ecosystem that News Laundry is trying to encourage, where we are accountable to you because we run on contributions that you make. We don't take government ads, we don't take corporations ads, so that news serves the public, because when the public pays, the public is served. Subscribe to News Laundry, click on the link in the show notes below and proudly say, I pay to keep news free.